I called Donald Trump a wannabe dictator. It's because he is. It's because he is. Maybe it's time for us to be a little more fierce. Because we have to ferociously push back on this. The thing that bothers a teacher more than anything is to watch a bully.
Is there something going on that we're missing?
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, whose balls is he hiding in his cheeks?
Yeah.
That's the first question I want to know. And I don't love the way he says, fierce.
Yeah.
Tim Walz's carefully guarded reputation suddenly burst wide open. Tyrus didn't pause or hold back. Right in front of everyone, he pulled the curtain away and exposed what had long been kept hidden. This wasn't a random comment or a quick burst of anger. It felt more like someone forcing open a locked vault and letting everything inside spill into the open. Tyrus began digging into Walz's past, stirring up controversy and leaving a trail of heated reactions behind. The scene quickly turned into something wild and unpredictable, almost like a late-night circus nobody expected to see. Once Tyrus set things in motion, there was no easy escape, and Walz suddenly seemed unsure of where to turn with the spotlight shining so brightly.
It's because he is. Maybe it's time for us to be a little more fierce. Because we have to ferociously push back on this. The thing that bothers a teacher more than anything is to watch a bully, to watch this bully and to stop it. And when it's a child, you talk to them and you tell them why bullying's wrong. But when it's adult like Donald Trump, you bully the out of him back. This is a weak, cruel man that takes it.
This wasn't a moment where Tyrus simply woke up, grabbed a cup of coffee, and casually mentioned Tim Walz in passing. Instead, it felt like a breaking point had arrived. After waking up, scanning the chaos around him, and reading headline after headline, Tyrus seemed to decide that he had finally had enough. And when he says enough, it isn't quiet or restrained. His response arrives with the energy of a high-octane wrestling speech, the kind that promises pure chaos, loud reactions, and a dramatic takedown that crashes straight through the political living room table.
Is deeply part of it. That's one of the, I think it goes, and you can look at the reasons why we've had this sort of dialectic over the Me Too movement.
How do you fight it?
This notion
I think I could kick most of their.
What he's mad about is his own fault. He's mad about the image that was portrayed of him as the hunter. And who did that? You did that. We just laughed about it because the one thing you can't do is you can't front. You can't floss. Those are two key words when it comes to manhood.
If you're enjoying this sharp critique, make sure to hit the subscribe button. When Tyrus turns his focus toward Tim Walz, the reaction is pure shock. Tyrus is known for being loud and outspoken, but this moment feels different. This time, the spotlight lands squarely on Minnesota's friendly, dad-like governor. The polished public image that once seemed solid suddenly starts to crack, breaking apart as quickly as a rough pothole in a parking lot outside Walmart.
Yeah.
A teacher snatches the bully's ass up.
Yeah.
Come sit with me. That's what I know. Someone's bullying. Oh, you can sit with me for a while. And then I would lean on him. I'd bully him back. He's not a teacher. He's not a politician. He's a creepy guy who can't remember his speeches. I don't know what the hell was in the water in that White House, or was everyone on the same bad cocaine? But Kamala can't speak. He can't speak. Biden was so high he couldn't remember anything. Like, this is literally the dumbest administration of all time. Why is he talking?
It really is the ultimate clown show. And I said this in the 5. He's a clown.
For years, Tim Walz has been presented to Americans as the friendly, ordinary guy next door. The kind of neighbor who might help move your couch, wave from the lawnmower, or show up to a church picnic carrying a bowl of potato salad. But Tyrus isn't buying that picture. Instead, he studies it closely, almost like someone poking at a meal with a fork, unsure about what's really on the plate. His reaction is clear. Something about the image feels off. To him, the story doesn't feel genuine. It feels more like a carefully packaged political act.
I feel bad for Elon. I would be furious if I was him. If this is who you sent to troll me?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing wrong to get the guy from D Team to come out at Family Theater and call me names?
Yeah.
Like, Tim, I would, if they were like, oh, Tyrus, man, tough news cycle. Tim Walz is talking. about you. I'd be like, old Timmy, I want to fight him so.
The first major strike lands there. Tyrus portrays Tim Walz not as the small-town neighbor many imagine, but as a skilled political operator, smiling while quietly sliding in policies like an unexpected hotel charge. On paper, his URSM, teacher, coach, military veteran, small-town values sounds perfect for a friendly commercial. Yet in office, actions often didn't match promises. The gap between words and results becomes the target, with inconsistencies wider than a Minnesota pothole. Tyrus uses humor to highlight moments like COVID restrictions that kept people from church while alcohol stayed available. Contradictions pile up like Pokemon cards, and by the end, Walz's heroic image fades, leaving him, in Tyrus's view, more punchline than symbol.
My tweets, my DMs, like just one arm, and I just want to slap the. He's so weak. He brings nothing. If you were gonna go after someone, man to man, hit him with a fact. Hit him with something real.
Yes.
You don't have anything. And here's the cold part. If Elon called him up and said, "Hey Tim, you want a job?" he would take it. Because that's what Spineless, he would, and when he was questioned, he was like, "I was just holding him in account. You know, I respect him, and I'm so happy to be working for X." He is the worst player on their team, and they don't mind sending him out because
They're trying to get him off the table.
Yeah.
They're putting him out early so he can't be a factor.
At one moment, Tim Walz seems to support a policy, and the next moment, he appears to move the other way, shifting with whichever direction the political breeze happens to blow. And if anyone thinks Tyrus ignores that pattern, they should think again. He doesn't just call it a simple flip-flop. In his telling, Walz performs so many twists to stay comfortable in politics that it looks like an audition for Cirque du Soleil. The image he paints is almost comical, like a leader claiming to run errands at Target while arriving in a shiny black SUV worth more than many people's homes. In Tyrus's view, the gap between words and actions is so wide that even the entire offensive line of the Minnesota Vikings could walk through it without bumping shoulders. And here's where his argument shifts to another level. He's not just criticizing policies or contradictions anymore. Instead, he begins examining the performance itself, the carefully crafted image presented to the public.
Rachel Levine, look, he has a sports coat and a zip-up sweater underneath. No man wears that.
I may have done that in the past.
Yes.
I won't now, Tyrus.
No, and one day somebody's going to explain what a corporate income tax is to these people. It's not paid by this. It's not paid by the corporation. It's not like a building that goes, "I've got to pay taxes." It's the worker.
In modern politics, presentation often outweighs substance, and Tyrus argues that Tim Walz excels at the polished display, voice, friendly look, practiced tone, but to him, it's a stage trick. Like a magician wowing kids while someone calls, check his sleeve, cracks show quickly. During COVID, liquor stores stayed open while gyms closed. After George Floyd's death, unrest spread and leadership seemed slow to act. Tyrus likens Walz to someone near a massive fire with only a garden hose, or a neighbor promising to fix a fence who shows up with tape and a shrug. On taxes, families face higher bills. In education, confusion rises, leaving parents uneasy and test scores worrying, an uneasy contrast to Walz's teaching background. These contradictions pile up, turning the friendly Midwestern image into a carefully packaged political product, warm on the surface, yet policies underneath raise hard questions. Grand promises may aim for a Nordic paradise, but critics say the results feel like a rushed school project.
That's a big red flag. Whenever you meet someone and they have to give you their resume,
yes.
and then as soon as they talk, you're like, "That's why you gave me your resume."
Yeah, because it doesn't speak for itself.
You suck.
Yeah. It's like when people have their PhD on their Twitter handle. It's like, you know, this person's completely bonkers.
And their pronouns.
Yes. Are you mad, though, Tyrus, that, like, beards have been kind of co-opted by beta males like Tyler?
No, because
Watch what you say.
it's like all. Wait, hold on. Watch what I say. I will around, stick my hand up your back, and make you my puppet for the.
When the conversation turns to law and order, critics say Walz's contradictions could fill a streaming series. He presents himself as a caring leader advocating fairness and reform, yet tense moments reveal chaos, businesses closing, officials scrambling, unrest spreading. Tyrus likens it to a chaotic comedy, with Walz stepping into the storm, clapping hands, and hoping it settles. He also notes how Walz's military background is often highlighted to bolster credibility. Beyond policy, Tyrus critiques the performance itself. Walz adjusts his tone to fit the moment, friendly when it helps, tough when needed, like a 1990s mood ring, a political chameleon reflecting public sentiment.
What do you make? Whoa, you got something there?
Hold on, before we do this, man, I got to protein up. Hold on.
Chug, 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 chug. Oh, he's chugging it. Hold on.
I need more protein, Gusto. I got my protein pudding, my protein shakes, jerky if you piss me off, but this ain't enough protein for this segment, Greg. I gotta old school this story here.
Tyrus lands the comedic punch by portraying Tim Walz as someone rehearsing empathy in the mirror, asking, "Do I look concerned?" He then critiques Walz's talk of unity. While noble in words, Minnesota under his leadership sometimes feels like a chaotic Monopoly game. Rules disputed, boards flipped, players walking away. When Walz leans into his small-town persona, rolling up sleeves and telling dad jokes, Tyrus sees a baseball cap wearing used car salesman, friendly but masking bigger problems. The sting is that these inconsistencies aren't isolated, they're part of his approach. Walz is carefully packaged to appear at his best, but under Tyrus's lens, the polish cracks.
I gotta tell you, I can't wait to debate the guy. That is, if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So, you see what I did there? I gotta tell you, pointing out just an observation of mine that I made. I just have to say it. You know it, you feel it. These guys are creepy.
Tyrus strips away the fade, and Minnesota Nice disappears, replaced by rough and ready politics in plaid. As Walz's contradictions mount, the audience isn't just laughing, they're nodding. Tyrus turns Walz into the archetype of any politician who says one thing, does another, and still expects applause, likening him to someone assembling IKEA furniture without a manual, parts misaligned, screws missing, yet insisting everything is fine. By the end, Walz appears more a fragile prop than a decisive leader, and for viewers, the performance is mesmerizing. Once the curtain is pulled back, the truth can't be hidden.